Life Audio.
Today on Talk About That, John gets over his fear of needles and gets emotional listening to Guns N' Roses. Meanwhile, I figure out my eyes are failing while hanging out with a younger person and tell you the story of the time a man took his wife on a balloon ride 11 miles up. Plus a conversation about the death of nuance and why the internet has turned our conversations into shouting matches. Today's episode is not sponsored by walking shoes. Just as expensive as running shoes, but you get to go slower.
Jonnie, the long wait is over. Finally, another episode of Talk About That.
That's right. We're back together.
Yeah, you've been
in the same room.
Yeah.
I've been gone a lot, and we had to do a remote episode, which you can check that out if you go back into the old archive.
I think it worked out okay.
Talkaboutthatpodcast.com.
There was some extra editing. There were some challenges that happened, but I think to the naked ear.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
To the naked ear?
I think it
Yeah,
worked.
why is it always naked eye, never naked ear?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's interesting.
Are you haggard?
Yeah, I'm a little haggard. I think my voice is a little gravelly today. I'm working on it, but I got more shows. We leave tomorrow for California. Yucca Valley, which I learned about the United States by going to these places. I never knew there was such a thing as Yucca Valley, California, but here I go. It's near Palm Springs, like 30 minutes from Palm Springs, which we all know about.
Right.
I think Clint Eastwood was mayor of Palm Springs for a time back in the day.
Huh.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it's an informational podcast.
It is. I could be wrong about all that, but I think that Clint Eastwood was mayor of Palm Springs for a short time.
There's no way to know.
Yeah. Anyway, Yucca Valley's near Joshua Tree National Park.
Okay.
So it's basically the desert. And I've heard this is the time to go if you're going to go. So we're going in a day early. We're going in the day before my show. And then we'll have a few hours to drive around and tomorrow and see some of the park, hopefully. But I've heard if you go any other time of the year, then now it's like 1,000 degrees because it's basically, it's
the desert.
Death Valley or whatever.
Yeah.
But so we're going to go and we're going to see some California stuff and then we're going to do a couple of shows. And I'm hoping my health holds up because so far I've done all these shows and not been sick.
Yeah.
But Curry got sick once. We had to go to you ever been to a clinic on the road?
I have.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
You don't know. They're not your people. You go in and you don't want to be that whole thing of like, you don't want to look like you're drug seeking, but you're like, do you guys do steroid shots? Like you want to ask them before you even do the appointment. Before I plunk down my $200 whatever.
Right. If you're going to tell me to go gargle afterwards.
Yeah, if you're going to tell me this is probably viral, stop it. Give me a shot right now. Do your job.
I do hate it when they say it's viral.
I know. This is probably viral. You're like, so what's you just
lots of liquids.
You just need rest. You go, well, I'm not going to get that.
I'm not doing that.
I'm on the road.
So I don't know. Why don't you? I'm with you, man.
They should put it on the sign. We do shots.
I used to.
Come on in.
We've got totally different.
We've got what you need.
I used to be deathly afraid of needles. And now I'm like, what do you got?
Right.
How many shots could I get before I leave?
Because it gets in there so fast.
Yes.
You leave the appointment feeling better if you get a steroid shot.
Yeah.
Our buddy Aaron Weber talks about that, about how like, I may have told this on the podcast before, but talks about how like he loves an urgent care because they're not proud in there. They don't have the big head. There's not diplomas and stuff on the wall. They're like, look, you got $40. Let's put our heads together and see if we can't tackle this sinus infection.
I do feel like sometimes when I go, that I'm telling them.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. We're deciding. I know what I am,
what this is, and I know what helps it. So could we just skip the middleman?
What I use my career sometimes. I'll be like, look, I have to be in California in 48 hours on stage.
Yeah.
There's no way I can do it if I feel this way. Will you just please give me? And then they'll be like, okay.
I'll do that. Like, hey, I got to sing on Sunday. And I know I won't be able to if you don't give me this shot.
At the Dove Awards.
Maybe you heard of them.
I do need to get my guitar set up. The action's getting real high on my guitar, which means like the strings are getting real high off the neck. Listener, if you're not a guitar player. So my guitar's starting to get a little bit beat up from the road. I throw it in 100 planes a year, so it gets a little bit. It's a good guitar, but now the action's a little high. And so I need to get it set up, but I never have time. I've not had time off the road because there's a wait list. It's Nashville.
Right.
So you take it to a shop and they'll be like, yeah, we'll get to it. But I'm thinking about going, well, I'm playing the Opry in a week or whatever.
Oh,
Because
well,
I am playing the Opry
card.
soon, but I could pull the Opry card and then be like, hey,
wow.
well, let's get this right this way, Mr. W. They probably won't. They'll be like, oh, this guy has money. That's probably what they'll think.
Did you do She's Stupid last time?
I don't think so.
Remember, you got to get somebody famous to come do the harmony.
Yeah, that would be good. Or you could just come out.
Nah, Johnny.
You don't think? Get Vince Gill?
You don't want
Wouldn't that be
me
something?
on the Opry, bro. By the way, I saw that today.
Steal my thunder?
That'd be great. Who was that guy? I saw last night, and it hasn't come out yet. It was,
I don't even think you know what you saw.
Lady A, I think.
Okay.
With Vince Gill and Stephen Curtis Chapman.
Sure.
Singing Go Rest High.
Oh, wow. Okay. That had to be
and
good.
I was like, wow. So I'm not huge into a lot of the country world or whatever. And that's more bluegrass, really.
Yeah.
I'd say. But I do like a little bluegrass, and Stephen Curtis is pretty great to me. So
any good harmony, there's just something about good harmony. It just sets me on. Something about it. I just did the Celebrators Conference with 6,000 senior. We talked about it last podcast, but they have these Southern gospel acts come in and do music for them. And it's not really my cup of tea, but whatever. But when they start hitting those harmony notes, you just go, I mean, my ears perk up. I'm like, it's one of those like proofs of God to me. Yeah. That he put that in there.
Yeah.
That he wired us to be like, I put my voice with your voice, or I put this guitar chord with this guitar chord. And all of a sudden, like, it's like something higher enters the environment. When you hear harmony, when you hear like a great guitar solo, you go, there's something else out there that's bigger than us when you hear something like that. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be sacred to be sacred.
Yeah.
Like Sweet Child of Mine was playing at lunch, and I was going, my gosh, that is one of the greatest guitar lines of all time.
Yeah.
And the fact that they layer it back over in the chorus the way they do, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
If you got a great line, it's hard to put it while you sing.
You know the story about that, right? Is that's just like a guitar exercise. It's like a noodling exercise that Slash was doing during warm-ups one time. And Axl walked in on it. It's just a ding-dong-ding-dong-dong-ding. It's just like, and he walked in, he goes, what is that? And it's like, oh, I'm just warming up. And he goes, hang on a minute. And he started writing lyrics to it. And then the funniest part is the part in the song at the end where they go, where do we go now? They were just playing a bridge and Axl in a scratch track, which is the rough track that you just sing. He started singing like, where do we go now? Where do we go? And then they just decided,
that's the great
that's
thing
pretty
about
good.
Rock music is it doesn't really have to say anything,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just got to have that.
Where do we go now?
Oh my goodness.
That's what I want to know. No one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But it's good to be back. It's funny because I think people in the early days of the podcast, if you watched on video or saw the clips, they thought we were a Zoom anyway because we had the little boxes that we were in, even though we were in the same room, because we have a guy editing video for us now, Adam Bush, who's a buddy. And I told him that. I go, well, I wanted us down the barrel so it at least looks like we're in the same room. And John fought me on it for a while. And he goes, oh yeah, I thought it was a Zoom. I thought for sure y'all were doing it remotely.
But now what we do when we make the videos is we still split us apart.
Yeah, we still split because
we don't use this shot at all.
We do a fake like camera switch basically.
This shot is only for the YouTube.
How would you subscribe, John?
You go to talkaboutthatpodcast.com.
And then you can subscribe to YouTube and get all the archived episodes. Become a supporter of the show if you'd like. We love our patrons and we appreciate you so much. And you can do that by clicking on that upper right-hand link in the toolbar. Send us a note to hello@talkaboutthatpodcast.com. We got a nice note.
This is our friend Stacy Bishop says, hello, John and Johnny. She said nice things about the podcast, but the most important part of this email was that her husband is a pastor. He turned 40 this week. They're on a long road trip, and if we time this right, and it's just the two of them, by the way, this week. That sounds like a fun trip.
Yeah.
Then they're going to binge Talk About That episodes while they drive, and so we wanted to give him a big shout out to Craig Bishop. Big shout out. Craig Bishop, happy 40th birthday.
Big 40, Craig. Yeah, and thanks for listening and being a part of the show. And if you want us to shout out your birthday, you can send $50 to hello.
Yeah.
The first one's free, Craig.
Craig, I'm going to tell you something. After 40,
oh yeah,
there's a lot.
Advice there.
There's a lot that happens, and people will say it like it's cliche, but it's true. There's some things. I think about 42s, my eyes just stopped working.
42?
Yeah, it was around there. It's like overnight.
Yeah.
It's like, what is wrong with this TV or whatever? And oh no, that's my eyes.
Yeah, I'm missing a lot of exits.
Yeah.
I was with Evan. That's when it happened to me. I was with Evan, who was, 15, 20 years my junior, and he was one of my college kids. And then when I was a college pastor, and then he started traveling on the road with me in his late 20s. And then he would be in the passenger seat, and I'd go, when's that exit? What's the name of that exit? And he goes, it's this one right here. And he could see it. I realized that he could see it like 50 yards before me. And I go, you read that? And I realized I couldn't read it till I was right up on it, almost missing the exit basically. And I was like, oh, I'm going blind. It took a young person to hold my hand and say, hey, geezer.
Hey, yeah. Mine's mainly for reading. Like, my daughter would hand me the phone, and it always felt like she was just shoving it into my face.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, I need to pull it way out here. It's like, hey, you want me to watch that video, but you're going to have to. Then I realized, oh, that's, yeah.
So you're farsighted. I'm nearsighted.
I don't know how it works. I just need reading glasses.
Yeah, I don't need reading glasses. In
well,
fact, that's
you
why
don't read very often, Johnny. Let's be honest.
That's hurtful.
Hurts, doesn't it?
It does hurt. You know what doesn't hurt though, John?
What's that?
Advertising. In fact, it helps us keep the lights on here and talk about that. So let's take a minute and hear from a few of our fine sponsors.
And we're back, Johnny.
Oh yeah.
By the way, before we get into the segments,
Sure.
and we don't do this a lot, but Tennessee got beat real bad.
Yeah.
By Alabama.
Yeah.
And I think we just need to state it. I think people act like that maybe we act like Tennessee's always good.
No. You're a little more myopic than I am about Tennessee. Like, I'm kind of a fan that's like, yeah, we have flaws. You're like, this could be it.
No.
Feels like 98.
I expected to lose that game.
Did you?
Someone texted me, what's your odds we're going to win? I said 35%.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah,
okay.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, we made a lot of really boneheaded mistakes that cost us that game. It wasn't like we were just outplayed the whole game. It was like we were outplayed by like 4 plays.
Yeah, 4 plays made the difference
Yeah.
of the 17 points, whatever that we.
But that's just, that's what
football.
it is. That game is made up of, listen, John, sometimes you got to make the play.
Guys, sometimes it's the one thing you think is so small.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's that, false start.
In your marriage.
It feels like
Maybe it's
it's 5 yards, but you know what?
sometimes you're on the 1 and you throw a 99-yard interception to the devil.
Yeah, and you're chasing him, and you ain't gonna catch him.
By the way, Alabama's the devil in this
Every time.
scenario.
They've always been.
Sorry about that, Alabama fans.
Not today, Saban. All right, Johnny, I think it's time for my segment.
Oh.
It's the quote of the week, a segment we call They Talked About That. Man, see, harmonies,
Told you.
such evidence of God's goodness.
Fix it in post.
Little Clive Staples today.
Oh, C.S. Lewis.
We make men without chests and expect from them virtue and enterprise. We laugh at honor and are shocked to find traitors in our midst. It's from The Abolition of Man. This is one of his more famous quotes.
Yeah.
Men without chests. We make people to not have honor and then are shocked. And I think that's such a, my daughter the other day said something, we were talking through, I was like, hey, say this out loud, because I'm about coaching myself and stuff, and she goes, well, that's cringe to say that out loud. And I thought, I would think the same thing as a kid, but I think it's become beyond that for adults, even almost like cringe to have a heart.
Right.
Like if I'm going to,
Yeah.
choose a person or choose an approach, to something over just dunking or winning or being
Right.
certain, and I think, I don't know why we're so shocked to find, again, the traitors in our midst, that we're the traitors, Johnny.
Yeah, it's like we've met the enemy and he is us. Like we've it's like when you make to me, I've compared it almost like you make a key to your house and then you make a copy of that key and give it to somebody. But then if somebody makes a copy of the copy,
right,
eventually it won't unlock the lock. And
Yeah.
I think we're generations removed from like this de-evolution of our moral fiber.
Yeah.
And politics becoming, it's not always about politics, but I would say that politics is a great example of like, we've normalized like saying completely outrageous things in the public sphere about our opponents. And it just being like, well, look, he tells it like it is. It's like, yeah, but where's the civility? Where's the empathy? Where's anything that we grew up with? And so I think it's because, yeah, we're making men without chests. We're making copies of the copy of the key. And so now the people who are in charge, they're just like, this is all about winning at all costs. There are no rules. There's no boundaries. There's no accountability. It's a bummer. I saw a great article by this guy I follow online. I've pushed his content before. I think he's the best content creator online, bar none. His name's Jason Pargin. He's an author. But he's so interesting, and he talks about everything in his videos. He's not really political, but he talked today about how he was using a tweet that he saw. And it was basically how the world makes more sense if you realize that most people are acting like 12-year-olds now.
Yeah.
And it's like, and he was trying to figure out why. It's like, people don't, there's problems in your cities, attack them with the army. Okay, buddy, you're 12, but okay, sure. It's like
Right.
the solutions we think to our problems, like we've kind of kicked all of the people who have nuance and degrees and whatever out of the room. And so now we're just like, we've almost made it, we made it stupid to be educated almost. Like, oh, this guy's some elite educated guy. So now what's left is just like people who the most oversimplified version of our problems really tickles their ears. And so they go, yeah, that seems right.
Yeah.
And so he was trying to figure out when it happened and why it happened. And his thing, and you'll be interested by this. Again, it all comes back to social media, but more vast than that. He said, he goes, social media and the internet is a place where it's so ecumenical. Everybody has the same volume voice. Whereas in popular society before, it would be like, I just walk into a room, they'd be like, adults are talking, Jonnie.
Right.
You'd be kicked out of a room.
Yeah.
Don't come in here with your childish nonsense. Well, the internet is so like, you can just be this loud voice. And so it normalizes that uneducated voice. And then that uneducated voice finds a tribe. And then it becomes it overwhelms
Right.
the actual people who have foresight and knowledge on a subject. And now it's normalized to like ridicule people who have knowledge on a subject. It's like, it's so fascinating. But I do think that there's something to that about letting the lowest common denominator dominate a subject. Like if you sit around the table with somebody who disagrees with you vehemently.
I do every week.
That's fine. You can still find common ground with that person. But if it's a group, like nuance gets totally lost and it devolves to like the lowest common denominator of their intelligence level, usually about a 12-year-old. It really is. It's like you start mudslinging, you start calling somebody fat or stupid or ugly, or it becomes a sixth grader.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah. I wrote a book for Jim Haslam II, who's the founder of Pilot Corporation. And, he's in his 90s, and we were writing, because he was like the Republican finance chair for Tennessee for years in the 60s and 70s. And,
Yeah.
he helped get Republican presidents elected, all kinds of things. Very involved in the civic process and took it very seriously. As he says, everybody should be involved.
Yeah.
Like if you don't, either you should run or you should go canvass for somebody, and he would just pick a candidate and be involved because it's a privilege to get to do what we do. And it was very interesting take from a generation, or a man and a generation wiser, I think, than myself in terms of how he saw it. But he would talk about Secretary Baker,
Mm-hmm.
and they've named some things at Tennessee after him, and how the way that he would bring two sides together was, you have to always find something you can agree upon to start.
Yeah.
That's the nature of it. And that, and Mr. Haslam talk about, politics is supposed to be, in fact, his son, Governor Bill Haslam, wrote a book called Faithful Presence. Amazing book. If you should go get it right now. And he talked about that in his time as governor of Tennessee, how his goal was not to defeat his opponents, but his opponents on the other side of the aisle were the people he was working with to get things done for the people of Tennessee. And he talked about how that's just such a foreign concept now. But like he went on a major network one time. They were doing an interview about something that they'd accomplished.
Yeah.
And they started feeding him this, basically how'd you stick it to the other side kind of thing to get this done. And he was just like, I didn't. Like, we actually all came together and found common ground, and we each gave up something, and so we could find, a compromise. And they fed him 2 or 3 of these hot button questions, and he just was like, no, we didn't do that at all. That's not how government works. And they cut the interview.
Yeah, they were like, let's go to commercial.
Yeah, they
this
had
guy's
nothing to
the
do.
worst.
And
yeah.
he was like, I think
he didn't throw gasoline on the fire for them.
No, and I think that and this isn't about, I would say one side or the other, but even that's deceptive. There's not 2 sides, guys. I mean, that's part of the problem. And I was just showing you this history book I'm writing, some of the stuff. There's not just Confederate and Union, right? There's not just in their day Democratic and Republican. I mean, there were 4 major candidates in the election of 1860, which is why the election split the way it did, and Abraham Lincoln was able to win. The Democrats had split into 2 parties, and then you had another party called the Constitutional Unionists, and then you had him for the Republicans. And you got to recognize, like, every Unionist in Nashville in 1861 who was against secession, and maybe even anti-slavery, that doesn't make them an abolitionist. It doesn't make them, like, some of those guys changed. I saw one of the most famous guys who fought in Tennessee for the Confederacy in the guerrilla warfare is a guy named Dick McCann. And the reason I found him is he's the guy that comes to my guy's house demanding the flag from him. And all these years, I didn't know that was, like, you go on. He's, like, really famous in Tennessee history. And it turns out Dick McCann actually was against secession. He was totally against it. But when it happened, he felt like he had to make a decision. And so there was so much nuance. He went one way and just went and fought for the Confederacy. Well, my guy went and fought for the Union. And they're both kind of believing some of the same things.
Right.
So when we think it's one side or the other, we don't recognize there's probably about 10 sides at least happening in any major thing. And to oversimplify is to remove not just nuance, but then we remove heart for the people within it.
Right.
And then we can just sum you up and say...
Yeah, and it's a way to dehumanize you so that they can get you to commit atrocities against each other. That's honestly the part of it. That's the scary part, is if they can make you believe absurdities, they can make you commit atrocities, is what Voltaire said. It's like, once I believe you're not human because you're just a whatever, you're a MAGA lunatic or you're a liberal lefty lunatic, I can decide that you're just some rabid dog that needs to be put down, right? If they really get me to believe that you're not human. Yeah.
That is and I'm not saying that, again, any particular side has the exclusive history of that. That can happen on all sides.
That's why we've got to remember our humanity. We got to get back to just listening to each other. I mean, it's really getting crazy out there. But yeah,
there's a great book that I think really helps with this too, called The Anatomy of Peace. It's one of the top conflict resolution books ever written. And one of the things that they talk about is what you just said, the objectification. Once you make someone an object, and what they would say is, if you just say, that guy's an idiot, you've found another word besides his name or his humanity, right? You found another label. And the longer you can make someone an idiot, then you no longer have to feel that you have to abide by your own morality towards
your standards lower.
That object now.
Yeah.
And that's what's so crazy is anybody in history that has committed atrocities, if you went back, probably most people, if you went back, especially in Western society, I think, for what we study, they thought they were on the side of the right. They thought they were doing the right thing. Some of them believed they were doing what God wanted them to do. And it's just like that slow, I even think about that when I don't ever want to be found just putting a label on someone. And that's not just niceties, and that's not snowflakeism, right? That's like, no, legitimately, that's how I maintain for myself the standards that I think, or that I say I'm upset about them not withholding. So it doesn't matter if I'm upset with them. If I break my own standard in order to punish them for the standard that I'm upset for them breaking, I at some point have to wake up out of that trance. And the best way to do is, again, to do what Jesus said and actually love people. So even if they're your enemies. There you go, Johnny. Solved it.
In the meantime, let's do my segments. First one is Old Jokes with Johnny. We call it Joke About That. I teased this last week, but I want to celebrate the career of one Jack Benny. Jack Benny, I give a lot of credit to for I watched Jack Benny when I was a kid, and I started leaving the mic in the stand when I perform about a few years ago because I realized that it was dropping as I was walking on the stage or I was standing on the stage. The mic kept dropping further from me. Then I start feeding back.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to leave it in the stand. And and now I don't know what to do. So I just do this with my arms now. And then I saw an old photo of Jack Benny, and this is his go-to pose where it's his arms are folded and his hands kind of touching his face, and he does this kind of a thing. And I'm like, somebody saw another comedian doing that and said, hey, there's still that from you. And I go, we both stole it from Jack Benny without meaning to. But anyway, Jack Benny was a pioneer in comedy. He was born Benjamin Kubelski. So Jack Benny, a better stage name, I suppose. 1894 to 1974, American entertainer who evolved from modest success as a violinist on the vaudeville circuit to one of the leading entertainers of the 20th century with a highly popular comedic career in radio, television, and film. He was known for his comic timing and the ability to cause laughter with a long pause or a single expression. So he was very timing was everything with him. And so I remember watching old Benny when I was a kid, and I think I've picked up some things from him for sure. His radio and television programs, popular from 1932 to his death in 1974, were a major influence on the sitcom genre. Benny portrayed himself as a miser who obliviously played his violin badly and claimed perpetually to be 39 years of age. My mom used to always say it, I'm 39 and holding. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably where she got that, and a lot of women did. So this is a few Jack Benny lines to celebrate his career. My wife Mary and I have been married for 47 years, and not once have we had an argument serious enough to consider divorce. Murder, yes, but divorce, never. Hors d'oeuvres, a ham sandwich cut into 40 pieces. That's great. This is one of my favorite lines from him. This really happened when he won an Emmy or a Lifetime Achievement. Mm-hmm. And I quote this all the time. He got up and he said, I don't deserve this award, but I have arthritis and I don't deserve that either. Yeah. That's the perfect line. I don't want to tell you how much insurance I carry with the Prudential, but all I can say is when I go, they go too. So I guess there was some sponsorship to one of his programs.
That's great.
The Prudential. It's a great way to reference one of yours. We need to reference our sponsors that way.
Yeah.
If we knew who they were, we knew who was going to be on the show, we could make a little zinger about Geico or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, we can't do that.
Sorry, guys.
When I give concerts, the tickets sell for $5 to $100. But for my concerts, the $5 seats are down in the front. The further back you go, the more you have to pay. The $100 seats are the last two rows, and those tickets go like hotcakes. In fact, if you pay $200, you don't have to come at all. That's pretty good. And lastly, I got a couple more. I took my girl to dinner. She laughed so hard at one of my jokes that she dropped her tray. So that's him playing on how cheap he was. When another comedian has a lousy show, I'm the first one to admit it. Now, that's definitely a comedian joke.
Yeah,
that's comedians in the green room talking about how bad the last guy bombed. When someone else has a lousy show, I'm the first one to admit it. That's beautiful. And finally, I was going to buy my girl a new car for Christmas, but it took too long to deliver, so I bought her some handkerchiefs. Jack Benny, we miss you, and we love you. And check out Jack Benny somewhere if you have access to the internet, and he's worth researching. Let's do This Week in History. We call it Talk About Then. Hello, John. This week, 1938, the first Xerox copy.
Oh, wow.
Chester F. Carlson and Otto Cornege succeeded in electronically copying the message from a glass slide to a sheet of wax paper. Xerography is from the Greek words. Sounds like I'm preaching a sermon.
Come on now.
Xerography is from the Greek words xeros, meaning dry, and graphine, meaning writing.
Dry writing.
You
just described my career.
Cornege was not impressed with the results and left Carlson. Carlson would wait until exactly 10 years later. This is wild. So they kind of, I don't like it. And then 10 years later, they split up over it. 10 years later, Carlson waited to that day to announce his discovery. Maybe there was some kind of NDA or something. He waited 10 years to announce his discovery to the world. He approached IBM.
IBM.
He approached IBM with his invention, but they turned it down. In 1947, Carlson sold the rights to the Haloid company, later renamed Xerox, who used the technology to create the Xerox 914. In 1959, it was the first plain paper photocopier and has been called, quote, the most successful product of all time.
What?
Which is wild to think about. But when you think about the fact that, before photocopies, what were we doing? And then there's a printer in printing presses, and then there's a printer in every household for
but of all time,
decades.
I mean,
the most successful product of all time.
Car comes to mind, telephone.
I've driven some cars that weren't successful.
Yeah. I've been on some calls that weren't successful.
Come on now. Won't that? Remember the early Ditto paper that they would hand? Yeah. I don't know how. We have
get
5
that
years
blue,
difference.
Purple all over your hands.
And it smells very, like the kids are all like in a haze. They're all like, maybe I'll learn, maybe I won't.
Right.
I don't know if I learned much today. That went away. But Xerox, yeah. John, the first criminal prosecution for cheating on a college entrance exam this week, 1992. So your daughter getting ready she's taken some college entrance exams already, right?
No, not yet.
No, hasn't?
I don't think they have those. ACT.
Well,
you mean ACT?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's taking it.
Well, this was for an SAT, but yes.
She's taking practice SAT right now, probably.
A 19-year-old Maryland man is sentenced to 6 months in jail. Wow, that's pretty.
Wow.
For committing perjury after paying another man $200 to take the Scholastic Aptitude Test, or SAT. Which I was so amazed did not stand for Saturday afternoon test. For him, I never took it, by the way. He eventually admitted his guilt. Suspicions arose after his substitute scored exceptionally high on the exam. So, yeah. So that was just too much. Like they go, this guy's not that smart.
Yeah.
You pay me $200, and he should have missed a few.
Yeah.
But he got too close.
Yeah.
He got too close to the sun on wings of $200. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Did you ever cheat at all, John? Do you think, okay, let me ask you this. I know you're an honest man, but do you think kids using like AI or Google or whatever is cheating?
It depends on the assignment, but 100%. I will say that the younger generation seems to, even when I was youth pastoring, those kids, it's like cheating no longer felt like
looking off
lying.
A paper, right? They're just like, I got to get through this.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was like, dude, cheating is right up there with smoking and other stuff. And like cheating now, like in our house, I'll be like, hey, now if I'm helping her through something, I'm trying to make sure she learns it or whatever. I'm like, now what did the teacher exactly say? Are you allowed to have any?
And she was like, I'm over here smoking. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what?
I may come in from my smoke break. Cheating is right up there with smoking.
I mean, I'm saying it was a big deal.
Right.
But now it's not so much. But yes, I personally, and let me just say this as a writer.
Okay.
Like, I think that the government would do well, much like we have warning labels on cigarettes or other things that are required by law. Or if you see a commercial of a car jumping a ravine, there has to be a little thing that says stunt driver, not really happening or whatever.
Yeah.
I think everything that's AI, you should have to put a disclaimer.
Watermark it.
AI was used in the making of this video. AI was used. And so I think that would help a lot. Now, how you enforce that, I understand, but at least put it out there as like best practices. So, because I do think AI will make it where we don't really know what people are learning.
Yeah, we're not going to believe our eyes.
System. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it's, But anyway, he got... the college, I mean, I don't know. I guess if I was desperate to get into a college, would I? I don't know. That's the thing. We value so many things, and then we get mad when people try to take shortcuts to get to them. But it's like we have an irrational value that we've put on this thing, and then if somebody can't reach that, then they're going to their morals go down. I don't know. It's very complicated. But yeah, cheating is wrong, and evidently to John, so is smoking. So
guys, I'm saying as a kid, being raised in a pastor's home,
right?
You know what I'm saying? This generation thinks smoking is worse than drinking. All of it, like
We vape now. It's like cotton candy, right? It's the same net effect, but it's like it tastes like bubble gum or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. But
we don't know what it's doing to us, but it ain't good.
I think we do know.
Do we know?
Oh yeah, vaping's awful.
John, we'll do some more research and get back to you.
Yeah. Okay.
John, the first successful stratospheric flight through the clouds happened this week, 1934, which surprised me how like old this record was. Jean-Félix Picard, not Jean-Luc Picard.
Wow.
Jean-Félix Picard and his wife in a balloon reaching an altitude of 11 miles.
Oh, in a balloon.
Okay, hold on. This is wild to me.
Wow.
First of all, just convincing your wife that you could do it. Hey, I'm going to get in this chair in a balloon. I'll see you when I see you. But for her to be like, well, let's just go together. It made me think these people did not have kids.
Oh, no.
This is like a me and Curry. Like me and Curry would be like, you know what? Let's go out together. Let's make a clean break from the surly bonds of Earth.
11. I mean,
maybe they didn't mean to go 11 miles.
Could you breathe up there?
I don't know.
I don't think you could.
And evidently he made it back because it didn't say they both died in a horrible ballooning catastrophe.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jean Picard, man, and I just can't imagine trying to convince a woman like, you sit here, I'll sit here, and we're going to go 11 miles.
You might want to bring a light jacket.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know what we're going to see.
Yeah.
What's up there at 11 miles? It's got to be cold, right? So yeah, a heavy jacket.
I can't imagine you surviving that. But
he evidently, and their marriage survived too. I'm interested to see like what was it like? It just feels, these are not people with kids. And if they are, this is completely irresponsible. Yeah, this is irresponsible activities. John, born this week, 1959, one Alfred Matthew Yankovic.
Oh, wow.
Weird Al.
Weird Al.
He was an American Grammy-winning satirist, musician. He was known for...
Why are you saying was?
He was when he was born, and he is, but he still is.
He was those things when he was born?
He was those things. He was born a satirist.
Guys, Weird Al's still alive. We're not starting a rumor.
Weird Al, still alive, American Grammy winner. You know, a lot of people lobby for him every year to be a nice, like, palate cleansing Super Bowl act.
That'd be amazing.
Which I think it would be. Because, you know, it's like every time it gets politicized now, if you choose somebody, because everybody's got these, it's like, let's just have a fun guy that's going to do parodies.
Yeah.
Weird Al, I think we don't want to admit what an influence Weird Al had on our culture.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah. I think to me, the biggest one was that I probably discovered some of the artists after hearing the parodies of their songs.
Agreed.
He kind of introduced you to things.
I think I knew, was it Amish Paradise?
Yeah.
I think
before Coolio?
I knew it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was so funny to me.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, there's so much, and it's such and I just like how clever some of the things were. It wasn't just silly. There were so many clever things that he wrote. And some of the songs he wrote that weren't parodies were just brilliant too. Anyway, happy birthday to one Weird Al Yankovic, who's not dead. I don't know why I said was. We'll fix it all in post probably, but probably not because we don't edit a lot of
guys,
show.
Jonnie was a good comedian too.
I know. He will be missed. Sheesh. That's like, there used to be a comedian that would say that. He'd be like, I saw my mother. I got to see my mom last week. May she rest in peace. I mean, she's still alive, but I just hope she's resting peacefully. John, finally this week, Maury Maverick was born. He passed in 1954. The reason he makes the list, he was an American politician and U.S. congressman, Texas, 1935 to 1939, mayor of San Antonio from 39 to 41. But he coined the word gobbledygook.
Oh, wow.
In 1944, and it referred to obscure and euphemistic bureaucratic language. So it was a political term. Gobbledygook used to be a thing. It was like purposefully confusing bureaucratic terminology.
Yeah.
He was like, this is all gobbledygook. And it stands to reason that a Texas guy would come up with this because he's like, my people don't get out. Y'all come in here with this gobbledygook. Just put it to me in plain language. And gobbledygook. And I've said, what is your favorite silly sounding word like that? Gobbledygook's a good one. Balderdash is a good one. I don't know.
Wow, there's a wasp.
There's a wasp in here trying to terrorize us. Don't be alarmed, everybody, dear listener. He won't land on us and
probably
sting us badly. Are you allergic?
Everything's fine. No, I'm not allergic.
Are you going to stand up and bat it? You're going to make it angry?
I'm not a big fan of pain, though.
This has nothing to do
Oh,
with
wow. He did come
He did.
close.
He did a little dive bomb. He did a little swoop action.
Well, my head probably looks like
Oh,
the
that's true.
mothership to him.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I could land right there. It'd be so warm.
Yeah, I did have one land there one time. It was awful. So anyway, Johnny, we're going to watch him as we take this show.
We'll take the show in for a landing and hope that he doesn't come in for a landing.
Yeah, because I got my hat ready. But hey, guys, you should check out Jonnie W, JONNIEW.com for many tour dates.
Absolutely. More tour dates. And we just added the Opry. I'm going back to the Opry November 18th.
Yep.
Get your tickets to that. November 26th, I'll be at Zany's doing a Jonnie W and Friends where we have so many cool things. And I have a lot of cool guests lined up. And that's when I do a lot of new material. So come to that one, November 26th, November 18th at the Grand Ole Opry.
I don't mean to alarm you, but I've lost him.
He's up there on your shelf.
Okay.
He's in your books.
Yeah.
He's just reading. You've lost him. I've lost him.
Yeah.
He's behind us.
Keep our eyes peeled. So,
Jeez.
hey, you should check out talkaboutthatpodcast.com. Share it with a friend. If you like it, tell somebody about it. Talk about that.
Talk about that. That needs to be a show that comes on after our show that debriefs the show to other people.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for listening, and we appreciate you subscribing and sharing all the content with all your friends and family.
Yeah, it means a lot. And it means a lot that you join us every week. Johnny, let's do it again next week here on
Talk About That.